This tenant has been evicted from their storage unit because they were trying to live inside their storage unit, which is why all their stuff is here and they're packing it up right now.
This is the most important part. This is where I keep my bar.
I actually have a full-length mirror, and I have enough space in here to get dressed for $100 a month.
Moving into our new space. They can't see enough to know that somebody's living here.
The trend of living in storage units is currently blowing up on social media, and whether it is a means to an end or a fun social experiment, that remains to be seen. But one thing is for certain, it is not legal, and if you are caught living in a storage unit, you will be evicted. But there are a lot of people on social media that are taking that risk, and they are publicly posting how exactly they are living in a storage unit all over social media. People are getting extremely creative, and I, for one, find it very, very fascinating. Now, while a lot of these people are doing it just for the short term, whether or not they just want to become TikTok famous, or they might just be needing to save up a little bit of money, or simply wait for an apartment approval, there are other people that are in it for the long term. And I want to take a look at some of those stories with you today, because one thing is for certain, I am seeing all walks of life jumping in and starting to live in storage units for a wide variety of reasons. But one thing remains certain, all of these people are breaking the law very, very publicly. But I still find it fascinating, so let's see what they're doing.
I live in a storage unit because it's cheap in comparison to an apartment. Living here is actually really comfortable. I get a lot of things that I need and want to get done here. I can exercise. I can use the bathroom. I can play music anywhere in the unit. It's climate controlled in here, so it's nice and warm. This unit is 24 hours, so I can come here anytime I want, stay here as long as I need to. We can take naps if we need to and go to sleep. So this is our living space. Very, very grateful to have this space. The next goal is to get an RV. The next goal after that, tiny home. And if we want to eat, I just cook right out front.
But that doesn't look safe.
Cold inside of the unit. Sandwiches. A lot of times we make salad. If we want to get power, we use our power bank. They also have power here so we can charge our power bank. Me and my baby will live here as long as we need to until we get the shelter that we want. Because we're living here, now we can save up more money to get what we really want. We're in it for the long haul. Thank you for the support. Thanks for watching.
I love it. I do. I love it. Now, it does need to be said, storage unit facilities, they don't allow it. And so I have to just be like, oh, why are you putting that on social media? Because if they're not allowed to be living in a storage unit, they could be kicked out. And it is likely that they have been, because this video is more than a year old. But I do have a lot of respect for people who know what they want and they figure out how to get it. You know, they wanted an RV or they wanted a cheaper way of living, but rather than allow an apartment to just suck all of their resources, they decided to look for a cheaper option, and they did it.
We're the couple that was living in a storage unit. Now we have a home.
Aww.
I live in the storage unit, climate controlled in here, so it's nice and warm. So this is our living space.
We got kicked out of the storage unit in 2024. A year later, I'm cooking crock-pot meals in my new home.
And I'm cleaning our bathroom.
That makes
we were
me so
grateful to have
happy.
a bathroom in the storage unit, and we're even more grateful to have our own.
I am meal prepping for the week. This wasn't possible in the storage unit. I am so grateful to have a kitchen.
I'm prepping the tub to give her a bath.
These cabinets are too tall for me. You got me a can of black beans and a can of sweet corn.
You still need this, right? I could never do this for her in the storage unit. She deserves to be comfortable and relaxed.
In the storage unit, we didn't have the luxury of eating healthy food. For convenience purposes, we ate a lot of processed foods in the unit.
I love that so much. They got kicked out of the storage unit and they have their own place to live now. That makes me so happy.
So if you're going to live in a storage unit, you're going to need to be as invisible as you possibly can be. You basically need to be a ghost.
Yeah.
If anybody finds out you're here, that's when you start running into trouble.
Yep.
So first of all, I needed power for my unit. So what I did is I ran an extension cord along the power cable up here, and I sort of zip tied it up. So you can't really tell its power is going to my unit unless you are looking closely. So this is my unit here, and at the top of the unit you can see I have an antenna, and that's so I can get a cell signal inside the unit itself, because once you close the door it drops all signal. I have a lock which I've magnetized onto the door so it looks like it's locked even when it's not. And then when I actually do want to lock it, I can just use this lock or use another one down here and leave that one there. All right, so let's take a look at the unit now. So in here I've got my TV, entertainment center set up there. I've got my bed. I've got my kitchen area over there.
Wow.
Complete with a fridge and my couch over here. And I've screwed on a latch here so that way you can close it and sort of lock it from the inside. Up here I've got a toaster oven, and this toaster oven actually works pretty well. I'd say it works just as well as a conventional oven. Up on this part of the kitchen I have cutting board so I can make some lunch or dinner there. I have a hot plate for boiling water, cereal. Up here is the Tupperware, and then over here I've got a food cupboard, all my food.
Wow.
And this is the sink I've built, and the sink is basically like a 25-liter container filled with water, and I've attached these tubes here, so you just open it up, and then the water comes down this tube and out there. So you've got running water, you can do dishes,
Look at that.
get a drink, whatever, and then the water filters into this bucket, which goes down into these holes here, which goes into a funnel, which leads into a separate container here. And I usually find I have to empty that container and refill that one, usually once a week. Up here I've built some shelving for some items that I'm storing in here that I don't really use too much. I got my snowboard hanging from the ceiling there. And as you can see, all the stuff I've built in here is all built basically hanging from the ceiling. And of course I do have my router there broadcasting my network, which that's all connected to. This is my new TV I just bought. It's a 4K TV, and I've got it hooked up to my computer so I can game on it or watch movies or do anything like that. I've got, this is my left surround speaker. So the thing about the speakers is, to hear properly, they should be positioned over here in the center and then to the right. But since this is the doorway, I sort of built this on a sliding system. So it just slides over, and now it's in the correct spot, so you'll have proper sound.
That's wild.
And of course I've got the back speakers back there.
Okay, but thought you said, in order to successfully live in a storage unit, you have to be a ghost. You have to be, like, invisible. How are you gonna be invisible with surround sound? I'm pretty sure someone's gonna hear you playing Call of Duty or watching a movie or something if you have a complete surround sound system inside that unit. So I think you're breaking your own rule there, unless you do it very, very quietly, or you do it when maybe there's no open hours, so nobody's able to come in. I don't know, but this entire setup is incredibly, incredibly impressive, if you ask me.
I do not live in my storage unit for the 11th time. Okay, here's my bed. Yes, I do have a bed in here. That's because I didn't want to get rid of it. Shortest story ever told. This is the most important part. This is where I keep my bar. All of my bohemian clothes, all of my 50s pinup attire, my camping gear. By the way, does anybody want a free TV? Someone gave me this and they were walking by my storage and they were like, oh my God, all you need is a TV. And they literally just gave me this 52-inch. So if you want it, you pay for shipping and it's yours. So everybody wants to know how I have power in my storage unit. It's because of this portable power station that I mentioned 5 million times. I bring this everywhere I go. I need to blow dry my hair, flatten my hair, I need to charge my phone, whatever. This is what I use. That's the end of my storage tour. I hope you guys don't have any more fucking questions about it. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.
All right, by live out of, I mean I have built this so that I can come and go super easily. So it's super cramped in here. Follow along. Okay, we are in an 8x10 storage unit. I found a special where I could pay $55 a month. He ended up giving me a 4-month deal on that. And then it'll move to...
See? Do you see why people are doing this? $55 a month. $55 a month. And all you have to do is just maybe provide your own power source, like a Jackery. You have to make sure that you can keep yourself cold or warm, depending on what time of the year it is, depending on where the storage unit is. But $55 a month for 4 months, that's only $220 for a roof over your head for 4 months. Like, that's why people are doing this.
About $110 a month. This is what I've built out of it. My dresser is back here. You can see, like, I can totally get in it, get all my clothes, everything. This is my closet. I actually have a full-length mirror, and I have enough space in here to get dressed. My shoes are in there, more storage in there. I've been able to set this up a little bit like a living room. I've more storage stuff, some water, blanket. I've got a chair that I can sit in here and put my feet up. I built this up here for extra hanging, clothes, whatever. This is my kitchen. I can grab stuff, come and go, my cups, cooking, everything. Down here in my buffet is my pantry. This is terrible and hard in such a small space. My pantry down here is actually my bookshelves now, so I can pull these out, grab the books that I want, and
Very
go
cool.
Put them back. I created another little hallway going this way. I'm waiting on the rest of my pretty storage bins, but this is all my crafting stuff. If you know me, I craft and I sell stuff for extra money.
That's awesome.
And then we come back out here. Here's our little hallway still. Those 4 bins are literally just storage for someday if I have a house, I guess. I don't know. This is like my DVDs, board games, swimwear. As soon as you walk in, all my clothes are hanging right here. Back behind there is even more storage for like all my camping stuff. If you know me, you also know that I'm an extreme couponer. So here's all my product. Here's all my bathroom supplies. And, yeah, I did all of that. Oh, extras, whatever. In a,
Oh, look at that.
storage unit that I can just roll
That
up
looks like
in
a
my
shipping
car
container.
and do what I need to do and come and go as I please for $100 a month. So I don't have to pay $500 a month. I've just freed up $400 a month that I can put towards past debt. So maybe someday I'll have better credit and can qualify to buy a camper, so I'll have a home.
Oh, love it.
So although I'm homeless by choice, I feel completely safe where I live. In order to get into my residence, you have to have a code. And in order to get on any floor other than the first floor in the elevator, you also have to have a code. So I don't have to worry about anyone running up on me while I'm sleeping. Now, this is my routine at night before I go do Uber. Because the business hours are from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and everything locks down, including the elevator, I have to set myself up to where I can get back into the unit once I'm done working.
Okay, so she just said how secure and safe she feels because you have to punch codes and do all these things. Now she's making it so anybody can just come and go out of there. She's literally like backtracking all of the safety that she was just excited for. That I don't like. I don't like that. That makes me feel really uneasy. I don't like the fact that she's just propping it open and putting this on the internet. Like, it would be less, fearful if she wasn't posting this on the internet, but she's basically showing everybody that when she goes to her unit, she leaves everything propped so that she can get back in without having to use the code. At least I think that's what she's doing. I don't know. Let's see.
Once I'm done, before I go do Uber, because the business hours are from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and everything locks down, including the elevator.
Yeah, that's what she's doing.
I have to set myself up to where I can get back into the unit once I'm done working. So that's what you see me doing here. I go up to my unit. I put my things.
That's the only thing I don't like. That's the only thing I don't like. She's setting the entire thing up to not be safe because she's propping everything open so anybody can get in there, and she's posting it on the internet. I don't like that at all. But she sounds very chipper. You know, she says, I live here by choice. She drives Uber. You know, I'm sure that she has financial goals, and that's why she's doing this. And, you know, and I do realize that there might be two completely different pools of people that are doing this, right? There could be potentially the one side of people that live in storage units or in shipping containers or whatever because they have no other choice. And that is absolutely heartbreaking that we live in a world and live in a society where people get to the point where they have to do that because that they have no other choice because rent is too much, or, you know, they're unemployed, or they just don't have the means. They don't have a support system to have a traditional roof put over their heads. That pool is absolutely heartbreaking, and I really wish that there was more things that could be done, like legalizing more options for living for individuals that can't have a traditional homestead. But then today I think we're mostly focusing on that second pool of people where these are people that are choosing to do this because they either need to pay off debt, they have a savings goal, or they're just tired of having to participate in a rat race to keep a roof over their head. Just like the last lady, you know, she spends $100 a month. She got $55 a month for the first 4 months, and then, you know, it's $100 a month for her storage unit. She sounds like she is doing that with a purpose. She's also an extreme couponer. It sounds like she just wants to own her time more, and she wants her money to stretch further versus having a ton of money go to just having a roof over your head. Living in a storage unit, it sounds like for her and for a lot of these people, it opens up options for them.
Hey guys, can you believe it? I finally completed my project of moving into a storage unit. I really like the way it turned out. I was able to hang the things I needed to hang. I love these racks from Amazon that I was able to put together with the help of my friend Salo. It's not jam-packed in here, so I was able to fold some sweaters. Also just have kind of like my junk drawer baskets, some work stuff. So I feel well equipped here. I also love the idea that, you know, I can see what I need when I'm coming to change my clothes out for the next trip. It's organized. I have space to move around, and I have some, you know, belongings. So it does feel like a home away from home. And that was the vibe I was going for. I also put up these curtains to kind of keep any dust particles. This is a super clean storage unit, but that way it kind of protects my clothing as well. And, you know, I think I need to probably go back through some of my boxes and just take a peek of an inventory of what I have. But by and large, welcome to my home/storage unit.
I cannot believe I am doing this. I did a thing. Yes, I did a thing. I went ahead and moved into a storage unit. And of course, there is a bigger picture behind it. I definitely have a plan. But for now, we talking about living in this storage unit. So this first week has been crazy and kind of humbling as well. I had to go wash clothes at a laundromat for the first time in 12 years. And when I tell you that experience left me on the floor, I've had to take out my own trash, which is also crazy because I haven't done that in let's say about 4 or 5 years. Every place I move to, they take out the trash for me, so I'm having to do everything on my own. However, it does let me know that I am stronger than what I thought. And as hard as it is to believe, living in this storage unit has actually given me a boost of confidence. I feel so much more determined. I feel so much more at peace. I do my daily devotionals every single night. I'm on night 9 as of now.
When I say don't record yourself doing a crime, edit the video, put commentary, and post it online, y'all just be ignoring me. Y'all just keep scrolling. It's evident. Every day on this app, I'm scrolling, and I see a video of a man living in a storage unit. The fact that you live in a storage unit is A-okay by me. I don't see, some call you a trespasser. I call you a financial planner.
Yeah.
If you will. But one thing, baby, you live in a storage unit.
Not allowed.
It is unlawful in most, if not every state, to live in a storage unit. You see what I'm saying? So I watched the video and I was perplexed because I felt like you had a great plan. Excellent plan. You're going to live in that storage unit. You got your food. I saw you do a little cartwheel. You got your exercise. You got your girl with you. You saving money. You stack it up until you can buy a place. But then you posted it on the internet. And had you posted that and you were on Ellen the next day and it really put you into a whole nother level of money and checks and notoriety and sponsorships, I'll shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But from what I saw, the person got evicted. So that's the thing. I want us to just, if we're doing something, and maybe you didn't know it was unlawful, baby, and maybe you didn't know, but it is. So I just want us all to take this lesson, take heed. Stop recording yourself doing shit you ain't supposed to be doing and posting it online. That's it. That's all. But you don't got to take my word for it. Who am I?
I like her too. What do you guys think exactly of living in a storage unit? Do you find it as fascinating as I do? Do you see it as a means to an end for a lot of people? Do you see it as being extremely dangerous and illegal and nobody should be doing it? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're down there, also don't forget to like this video if you like content like this. Also remember to subscribe if you have not already. Ring that notification bell, that way you're notified whenever I post my next video. And I will see you guys again in the next one. Bye.